You are an embodied reflection of Source. You are thus infinitely empowered, abundant, and a co-creator with your context always. You are an alchemist. Divination works because the web of life is intelligently organized with coordinated and storied agency. Let's take a look at the stories playing out now. Hello, beauties. So here we are at June 2016, and there's two things that I want to talk about that are the understories, the macro cycle storylines that are affecting all of us at this time. The first, as always, I'm going to tune into the Sabian symbol that's keyed in at the 14-degree Gemini new moon. So let's talk about that first. The symbol is two Dutch children talking to each other, exchanging their knowledge. Now, this is about connecting, it's about communicating, it's about creativity. But I would say beyond that, there's another story here, which is that these are two Dutch children. So we're talking about two individuals that speak a very distinct language, and they resonate with one another. They understand each other. So what this month, what the understory is, the macro cycle symbol for all of us on a collective level is speaking to this month of June, from this June 4th to the July 4th Gemini new moon cycle. This is about aligning to a new point, catalyzing ourselves at a new place of inner resonance. And then I think post-June, and possibly even within the month of June, we are going to be at a new vibratory alignment, and that will enable us to emit the frequency that is going to attract us to our tribe. Many people, many clients have been searching for their like-minded, like-hearted tribe forever now. It's been years for some people. And this is very good news, I think, for us. I think the fact that this is talking about speaking a very distinct language and communicating that language with each other is talking about energies are at play to align us to a point of inner truth so that we can, in fact, recognize those other members of our quote-unquote tribe. So this is good. The other thing that I'm literally just going to touch on, because there's so much to talk about, is the mutable grand cross. We also have a grand trine that's activated. At the point of both of those is Jupiter. And the North Node is not too far off. It's only a few degrees off. So Jupiter, which is at 14 degrees Virgo, is at the point of both the Grand Cross and Grand Trine. So it's interesting that, because this is talking about expansion into health, into healing, into wholeness. And there's more to say there too, but there's no accident why Jupiter is playing such a key role in these two magnificent and very intense, especially the Grand Mutable Cross. The Mutable Cross of Jupiter in Virgo and Neptune in Pisces, along with Saturn in Sag and the Sun, the Moon, and Venus, all in Gemini. This is major inner tension, major reworking that's going on. And this is after so many of us have been through so much already. So there is an increased honing of our tuning fork body-mind system that's activated right now, okay? So, and of course it's a mutable Grand Cross. So all of those signs that I just mentioned are mutable signs. They're changing signs. They're adaptable signs. So what does that say? This is about us becoming adaptable. This whole chapter is about us letting go, breaking free of the binds that are false and unsustainable, and aligning with, going with the flow with the changes, the openings, the advancement, the growth edges that are calling. If you want to know how this mutable grand cross is affecting you distinctly, I have an offer on for me to create a personalized video for you, tapping into your distinct soul print and what this month, because it's the entire month of June where we're activated, is birthing in you. So I invite you to click on the link below if you'd like to order that and connect with me. Okay, so let's move on. Hi everyone, welcome to your June 2016 Alchemy Scope. So let me explain what's here and what's going to happen today. So I have not been well physically, and this session today is going to be quick, down, and dirty. We're going to just do a card spread. But the reason why I wanted to show you the Himalayan sea salt and the pebbles here and the Buddha board in the background, but mostly the rocks and the salt, is that the intention for the scopes for June was to be half the board, half the divination table be this creation, be an artistic channeling, but instead of pencil to paper, to be with the rocks and the stones and the salt, and a spread. But today it's just going to be a spread. So this is going to come. This is definitely going to come in a future scope, probably July. I'm definitely going to do the channeled art drawing scopes as well. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside while we get prepared. And in the meantime, let's get the Buddha board going. And this is so fabulous. I found this recently at an art store. So today, this is going to be June 2016. And as you all probably know by now, this is a grand square month. So this is going to be powerful. A lot of internal work, internal processing, a lot of compression and alignment that's going on. Internal frictions in order to align you with the essence self that is calling to come, your truth in all ways, total integrity. So let's get started. Capricorn, welcome. So let's take a look. I'm using my Siri deck this month, and we are going to tap into the Capricorn demographics. So what is the general evolutionary trajectory of Capricorn-centric scope people? So Cap, what event, circumstance, or situation is likely to come forward for at least the majority of Capricorn-centric scope people at this time? Capricorn. Cap, yours doesn't want to come. It's interesting. And it's sticky too. It's like the cards, sometimes the cards get sticky. And it's interesting. I mean, it just means that there's more breakups within the matrix, is what I would say. The matrix of cards. So let's see. Now I'm getting it. There we go. Okay. Cap. What event, circumstance, or situation likely to come forward for the majority. Wow, home card coming up yet again. So this is, I think, the third time it's come up, Cap. Beautiful. Goodness is coming up again. Resistance. Okay, beauties. So it does look like there's going to be some event with a man, a relationship, a love relationship. It could be a friend. It could be a friend. And it could be actually somebody from work is what it looks like it's going to be for a lot of you. So let's take a look. So in the middle, the affection card came up. So in the middle, you're going to have an issue with affection. That's going to be a topic that comes up for you during this June 2016 Grand Square cycle. And there's going to be some difficulty that you're going to experience with regards to affection. And it has to do with love. It has to do with love. And this card, it says romantic love, but actually this card is reflecting kind of agape love as well. So this is also just love in general. So there's some issue with affection and love that comes up for, again, at least the majority of Capricorn-centric scope people. So let's take a look. It has to do with progressions with a man. So for a lot of you out there, I mean, for the men watching who are straight, theoretically, I mean, this could have to do with a woman. So because the majority of my viewers are in fact women, I mean, it's about 80% to 20%, this is going to apply most readily to the women watching. But for the men watching, this could be a woman. For the straight men watching, this could be a woman. So there's something that there's going to be some evolution, some progression forward with a man over the course of June. It's funny because I almost wanted to say January. So I don't know. I mean, it could be maybe a relationship that started for some of you in January. So that's not going to apply to all of you, but for some of you it will. So receiving balance for the evolution of a relationship with a man. It could be that during this month, during this intense kind of grand cross that is, activating, forcing, obligating maturation and alignment, that there is an evolution with a man that is, it's like you're navigating the balance journey. That's what I want to say. It's almost like you are navigating. See how she's walking on that edge, that grassy edge. And I feel like that's you this month. So it's like you're going to be receiving some growth. Something new happens. Some new evolution happens. And you're going to be balancing it, taking it in, receiving it, but also kind of assimilating how it feels for you. Now, there is a collaboration. Could be that some of you work from home. It could be that you live with somebody. Okay, so the spouse card did not come up. However, you could have a roommate or a boyfriend, somebody or a person, a love interest that you live with at home, that you're starting to collaborate with them with regards to work. So for some of you out there, you are going to have some collaboration that involves home or somebody at the home. So, and it does have to do with work, and it might have to do, for some of you, with spiritual work. Okay? So it might have to do with spiritual work. So I'm going to show that close up so you can get a feel. Okay? So that's interesting. Now, with regards to emotions, there's going to be, I think you're going to feel some lightness coming up. I think you're, now again, I have to say that, yeah, there's going to be some lightness, some humor that starts to come forward for a lot of you Caps out there over the course of this cycle. Maybe you need the humor in order to deal. So whatever little difficulty or challenge comes up over the course of the cycle, it's like naturally you're going to move into a bit of humor with it. Now, I will say this, Cap, that it could be that you're either starting to do a business or start some work that's a collaboration with somebody from home. It could be your partner again. Or that, gosh, what was the other thing I was going to say? There was something else that was coming. What was it? Oh, that there, it could be that there's some project, maybe it's not work or career, but theoretically, this is really pointing to work and career. Let me just say that. But for some of you, it could be that there's some project that has to do with a home that involves a collaboration of some sort. So that's a possibility as well. Okay, so let's go up to the mental sector here. Now, yeah, you know, this is the deal. So there is going to be some problem with a relationship, okay? So for those of you in a love relationship, there is going to be difficulty that occurs, but you're going to have resistance to the thought of separating, or resistance to the thought of breaking up, or resistance to the thought of not being together. So it's almost like you're going to endure the difficulty because maybe you just see it as it's just the chapter, you know, that it is. But here it's like you're going to be maybe recognizing mentally that there is goodness in what's moving. There's goodness in what's changing. There's goodness with the relationship and the evolutions with the man. Okay? So it's like there's goodness. You're realizing on a mental level that there is in fact goodness with the evolutions with this man that's occurring. So there's some shifts and changes occurring with this man. It could have to do with his work, by the way, but you're recognizing that the changes are in fact good, and there's some resistance you have to either separating or breaking from this person, or separating maybe with regards to a workplace. Like maybe there's some work scenario that's playing out here, and that's causing the difficulty for your lover. Maybe that's it. And it could be that some of you, this is going to be, I would say, a small percentage, but it could be that for some of you, let's say your partner received an evolution. It could be a raise, for example. So he's being recognized. He's received balance, being recognized. He's evolving, let's say with his work. And it might be signs and signals that there's going to be a collaboration, maybe a partnership with work, or a new partner to the firm, that kind of thing that comes in. Again, this is not going to apply to everybody, but for some of you it will. But it's like there's some resistance to the move, to the evolution. So let's take a look and see what is asking to be evolved with the Carolyn Mace archetype cards. So for Capricorn, what should we draw for little Cap here? What should we draw for little Cap? Okay. I don't know what that is. A bit of a happy face. Maybe that's the humor that wanted to come. So let's take a look. Capricorn. What main area, what main quality is asking to be grown and matured within you this month? Interesting. the love of honor. So the Knight card is coming up. Now this is interesting because this card clearly has to do with love, and this clearly has to do with love. And there's definitely a partner involved. So Knight is saying the shadow attributes are allegiance to a destructive ruler could be a boss, or principal, and romantic delusions. Okay, so again, there's difficulty with love here, so there could be some delusions playing out, but this is also like a misaligned, out of integrity ruler. And what wants to come into play, what wants to be manifested, is loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. Cap, I think this is about alignment. Either you or your loved one is going through some shifts and changes, and they have to tune into whether it feels aligned for them or not. Is it ethically aligned with who they are? That's what this is all about now. Very interesting. Let's see what else we have for you. Hi everyone. Your I Ching micro story, a general energetic theme that's playing out for your particular sign, is listed on the card that you're reading now, as is your optimal goddess embodiment, the Dakini embodiment. Who are you to become to ride this June wave optimally? In order to save time this month, I'm just recording this once. And if you'd like, for those interested, because not everybody is, you are free to visit my website and go to the online library where you can find the information for both your I Ching and your Dakini for the month of June 2016. Have a great month. Bye-bye.